don't wait for you.
Hey y'all, it's Butters, and today I am sick, therefore I'm going to be recording this video underneath my heated blanket, and I also have, wait for it, a tea. I have a tea. I'm really sick. Delicious. So allow me to tell you guys a story that just happened to me 2 days ago. I got punched in the face. Yep, I got punched in the face by a football player who was twice my size in my self-defense class here in college, so allow me to explain the story as to why I got punched in the face. For those who don't know, I ended up signing up for a self-defense class here in college. One, because we're supposed to take a kinesiology course, or a physical activity course, I suppose. And two, I want to learn self-defense because, look at me, I'm small. I need to learn how to punch properly and all that kind of stuff, and the grips and how to, I need to learn how to defend myself. I'm really small. I was looking through all the potential kinesiology courses that I could take, and I saw things like yoga, fitness walking, aerobics, body conditioning, and then I saw self-defense, and I was like, this is it. This is the course I'm going to take because this is a very valuable skill to have in my life. So I registered and I ended up getting into the class, and my main concern was that I'm really small, kind of delicate and frail, and not to mention I've gone through multiple surgeries. Like, if you hit me wrong, like, I'm going to die. I will break, especially in my jaw because I had jaw surgery. So with this in mind, I was a little bit scared to go into self-defense and thinking, oh my gosh, what if I get punched in the face? I'm scared. I went to the first class meeting on Monday to meet the professor and my classmates, and he was a very nice gentleman, and he basically warned us saying, hey, you need to sign this waiver because odds are you're going to take a kick to the face, a punch to the gut, I don't know, odds are you're going to get hurt. After hearing all of that from the professor, I was just like, oh no, I don't want to get hurt, oh no. But I kept thinking in the back of my mind that, hey, I was a competitive cheerleader for so many years. I had taken a beating multiple times. I've had bodies fall on me, and I've been able to get up and walk away perfectly fine. I can handle a little punch to the face. I'm pretty sure that would, maybe I'll be able to handle it. But then again, back in cheerleading, I didn't have jaw surgery at the time, so now that I have jaw surgery and I have metal plates all up in my face, that's a story for another time. I have metal plates all up in my face. I'm scared that if I get punched, I'm gonna get really hurt, and that surgery I'm gonna get is gonna go to waste. So the professor said, if you have any personal concerns, feel free to come up and talk to me. So I immediately ran up to him and was like, excuse me, hey, I got a problem. I then had to explain to him that, hey, I had jaw surgery when I was a senior in high school. My jaw is very sensitive, I have metal plates, and I cannot take a punch to the face. I can't. And I could tell this professor was a genuine dude because he kind of helped comfort me and said, don't worry, we're not going to be doing any strikes to the face. If we do, which we probably won't, we will definitely use headgear and mouthpieces. You're going to be perfectly fine, and the only time that you're ever going to get hit in the face without any sort of protection is if you're rolling with somebody and somebody messes up their grip and their hand or elbow slips and just right in the face. And so I thought, oh, okay, I can deal with that. That's fine. In my mind, I thought, as long as we just are not punching each other in the face, I'll be good. I can handle this. And then comes day 2 of self-defense. I walked into self-defense and dropped off my backpack, and I noticed that everybody was all changed in athletic gear and had ponytails in, and they all looked like they were ready to work out. And then there was me in my work attire with my lanyard that has my little name tag and my glasses and my big old jacket, and I legitimately look like a total dweeb compared to everybody else, especially since I'm really small. I just look like a little IT nerd who doesn't leave their room. Which is kind of true. I just legitimately look like a nerd. So I went to the locker room, put on some athletic gear, threw my hair up in a ponytail. I had my glasses on at the time, and I just took them off and was like, alright, let's do this. That was really dumb. I had made my transformation from a dweeb to a not so much of a dweeb, but still a dweeb. We started warm-ups in the self-defense class. We were running some laps and doing some stretches, and I was just observing everybody and just, taking into account their body size and, how bad a punch would hurt from them. Fun fact, most of the people in the class were girls. I think there's 15 people in the class, and I believe 11 of them were girls, including me. There were 4 other guys, maybe 3 or 4, and one of them was a football player. A big old football player twice my size. I was scared. Honestly, I wasn't too intimidated because I didn't think that the professor would let, you know, the smallest girl in the class pair up with the biggest and buffest dude in the class. So, you know, I wasn't too scared, but I definitely took into account, you know, how bad a punch would hurt from him. As the self-defense class went on, we were learning just the basics, like the fighting stance and throwing punches and movement, and I was having a lot of fun. We, like, pair up with people who were relatively the same size, and, you know, we would practice moving and, you know, moving, not really punching at all, yet. And then the professor decided to bring out some pads that you could put on your hands so you could, like, punch people, but it won't hurt so bad. But it actually did because it hit me. We started doing this exercise where one person would try and guard their head like this in their face, you know, and take the punches on the arms and stuff, while the other person wears the pads and actually punches you, and punches decently hard. And I was super confused. I was like, what, wait a second. I thought you said we weren't, like, striking towards the face. You know, I may have my arms up like this, but I'm still really weak. They're gonna punch through and I'm gonna die. Over the course of the class, we had to switch up partners so that we wouldn't get used to a person's fighting style, if you want to even call it that. And I watched in horror as the big buff football player came walking my way. He's all big and, like, swollen with muscles. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, hi. To help comfort myself, I kept on saying, oh, well, he's much bigger than me. I'm sure that he'll, you know, he'll feel bad about how small I am, and he'll take it relatively easy on me. I'm not really too worried, I guess. So it was my turn to actually guard and have my arms up like this, and it was his turn to punch. So he had the pads on, and he did this number where he was like, all right, you ready? I'm like, no, I'm not. Now let me tell you guys, I said these exact words, quote for quote, before he threw his first punch. I said, please be careful, I'm really small and really weak. That's all I said, I'm really small and really weak. You know what he does? He gets ready, he gets up to fight, and he goes, whap, and he puts, like, so much power into it, and it broke through and just plunk, right in my jaw. Right in my metal plate where I had surgery. And like I've said, I've been in cheerleading, I've had bodies fall on me, I've been punched, elbowed, kicked in the face multiple times, and it was one of those, I know this feeling, I remember this from cheerleading, wow, that doesn't really hurt that bad, I guess. The exchange was super quick. I said, please be careful, I'm really small. He goes, okay, and he just bang, punches me right in the face, and it was one of those, okay, that was too hard, and that was it. And then he continued punching, and he was like, oh, my bad, and he started to be a bit more gentle. But that first punch, man, it got me right in the jaw, right in the metal plate, and it was not good. You guys can't see it as much anymore, but I did get hit in the face. I will post a picture so you guys can see what it looked like 40 minutes after it happened. I was red and swollen, and thankfully I didn't bruise, but ugh, it didn't look pretty at all. And the worst part is, I don't even know if the football player knew what he did. I don't know if he actually knew that he punched me in the face relatively hard. I think he thought, oh, you know, I must have slipped through and just kind of scratched her, and just a little tap, you know. That was a legitimate punch! I have no idea if it was intentional or not, but basically I was like, we need to switch partners, please, thank you, alright, I'm done. I don't even think the professor saw me get punched in the face. But after getting completely bopped in my upper jaw, the class just went downhill so fast from there. It was a snowball effect, like things just got worse and worse and worse. It was awful. So after we finished up with this little exercise, the professor said, okay, now the only time that you're ever going to use these skills is when you are tired out and freaking out and don't know what to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to tire you guys out by conditioning you, and then we're going to have your partner punch you, and you're going to continue to guard again. And I was like, are you serious, really? So the professor paired us up, but I was in a group of 3 because we had an extra person. And it was my turn to go first, but basically what we would do is we would do bear crawls across the gym, then we would punch the air, or I guess shadow box for a good minute, then bear crawl back, then do 10 burpees, and then finally stand there like this and then take the punches and, you know, do that for a good solid 30, 45 seconds, I think. I don't know if it sounds like a lot to y'all, but oh my gosh, it was a miserable experience. I was already dead by like the 7th burpee. I remember being so fit, but by the 7th burpee, I was just like, oh my god, alright, let's do this. Okay, punch me, go, alright, we're good. And then my partner, who thankfully was a girl this time, decided to punch me so hard that I was getting lightheaded and discombobulated, and I was just sitting here like, what the heck is I don't know what's happening. I'm getting punched and I don't feel good, but okay. The professor finally called time, and then by the time I put my arms down, I immediately was like, oh no, and I puked in my mouth. Yeah, it was extremely unexpected, and I didn't breathe properly while working out. It had been a while since I've worked out significantly, so it was all a perfect storm for me to puke after doing an extremely hard workout. And I got up and I sat there, I was like, I got it.
go. I gotta go.
And the professor looked at me and was like, you okay, Hannah? I'm like,
Gotta go. Go.
so I had to swallow my puke as I essentially power walked across the mat, and you could hear everybody behind me just laughing and snickering and whispering and all of it. Basically, like, a person with anxiety, that's their worst nightmare right there. That sucked. But I didn't really care. I don't know why. I was just more concerned with making sure that I was okay. So I had to rush outside, and there was a door to the outside, and I knew what I needed the most was fresh air, but the door was locked, and if you tried opening it, then an alarm would sound, so I was like, oh my god! So I had to go find another door, and I couldn't find one, so I had to just run to the girls' bathroom and puke. It sucked. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did not get much sleep when I went to self-defense. I think I got a total of 4 hours of sleep in the 2 days that I actually went to self-defense class, and I didn't eat any breakfast or anything. I did not take care of my body properly, and I paid the consequence. So I walked back to the self-defense class, you know, just shaking and just trying to just maneuver my way over there without dying because I didn't have any food, any energy. I was sore and just, it was awful. I got back to the gym. The professor asked me, are you okay, Hannah? I said, yeah, I'm good. I just barfed. He goes, okay. And since I was in the group of 3, one of us had to go again and do the whole workout. So I immediately was like, I'm going. I'm up. I hate how weak and frail I am. I gotta get good. Let's do this. So I summoned all the power and energy that I had left in my body, and I managed to complete that workout again. And I remembered to breathe properly. The professor told me, he said, Hannah, be careful, make sure you're breathing. And I'm sitting there shadow boxing, and I'm like, I'm good, I got this. And did the burpees, I was good, and I took the punches, and I was close to passing out, you know, but I did it. And after he called time, I just passed down the floor and just laid out like a starfish. I was just like, blah, I did it. I freaking did it. While everybody else was looking at me like I was a complete and total weirdo, my professor came up to me and said, now why the hell did you do that workout again? And I told him, I said, I hate how weak and frail I am. I gotta get good. I gotta get strong. And he smiled and said, yeah, I can respect that. Class then continued after a water break. We worked on grips and stuff. I hyperextended my thumb. I don't want to go too much into detail because I could tell you all about the whole self-defense class and how miserable I was, but I think I've already said enough. At the end of the self-defense class, the professor decided to do a handstand for some reason, and my eyes lit up. I was like, I know how to do that. That's something I can do. So I did a handstand, and then he just kind of flopped over on his back and starfished, essentially, and I asked him, I said, hey, do you want to do a handstand competition? He said, not right now, but maybe later on the semester. And I said, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to it. Class ended and I was packing up my stuff. I was one of the last people to leave because I was really beat up after practice, very sore and just not in good shape. And the professor came up to me and was like, you okay, Hannah? You good? I'm like, yeah, I'm really weak. I need to get strong. And he said, don't worry, the strength will come. I nodded my head and agreed with him, but in the back of my mind I was thinking, if I'm gonna get stronger, then why the hell did you pair me up with the strongest person in the class who doesn't know how to punch properly? However, he has a whole bunch of muscle, he's scary, he's strong, and he just right in my freaking okay, yeah, I'm gonna get strong, yep. I will get strong by getting beat up by football players, yep. I went back to the locker room to change, and I glanced in the mirror, and it was one of those, like, oh my god! Just this area right here was so red and just swollen, and I was like, this is so bad. Am I okay? Like, is my jaw okay? Like, I know I have metal plates in my face. They're not gonna break that easy, but like, what if they get knocked loose, or what if they get knocked out of place and, you know, my jaw, no! So I texted my mom and told her, hey, I got punched in the face today in self-defense. Do you think I'm gonna be okay? And I sent her a picture of me with my red face, and I told her, you know, it's not bruised, it's sore, it's swollen, and she said, do not get punched in the jaw, period. Like, in all caps, she was serious. My mama, she's one of the sweetest ladies ever. She was so serious, she was like, drop that class, do not get punched in the face. And my dad was like, agreed, don't get punched in the face. My dad even called me 2 hours after the class had ended. He just wanted to make sure that I was okay, you know, he just was one of those, oh, you alright, honey? You got punched in the jaw? And I was like, yeah, I got punched, it hurts. He goes, oh, well, you should get good. I'm like, wait, what? Nah, but really, my dad was super concerned and just wanted to make sure that I was okay. And he suggested that I drop the class. So I dropped the class this morning, and I will not be going back anytime soon. So yeah, I got punched in the face, right in the jaw, right in my weak spot where I had jaw surgery. Great. I suppose if I took better care of myself before I went into self-defense class, I would have done a lot better. But, I mean, you know, pairing me up with the biggest dude in the class, I can't get over that. Like, why not pair me up, like, based on body type and body size? Like, I know I'm the smallest, I'm the runt in the class, but, like, still, you don't gotta pair me with a guy who's, like, 7'2", okay? You don't gotta do that. Not to mention, I had to go to work right after self-defense, and we had to set up a whole bunch of offices and stuff, so lots of heavy lifting, and basically, I had worn myself out, and I got sick. And now here I am, drinking tea, and I'm underneath my little heated blanket. And that concludes the story of me getting punched in the face. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Yeah. Still can't believe that happened to me. I'm a little salty. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video of whatever I make. Now I'm gonna go recover from the sickness. Bye-bye.